What if I told you that the very words leaving your lips right now are either attracting or repelling wealth from your life? That every syllable you speak carries within it the power to transform your financial reality in ways that would seem impossible to the rational mind. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might completely revolutionize how you think about money, abundance, and the extraordinary power hidden within your own voice. Most people spend their entire lives chasing wealth through endless effort, believing that harder work or better strategies will finally unlock the doors to prosperity. But what if these same people unknowingly sabotage their financial success every single day through the unconscious use of their words? Have you ever experienced this yourself, speaking about money with frustration, worry, or defeat, only to find that money seems to slip through your fingers like water? Here's something the wealthy have understood for centuries, but rarely share. Money is not just physical currency sitting in your bank account. Money is condensed light, pure energy that responds instantly to the vibrational frequency of your thoughts and words. When you truly grasp this concept, you begin to understand why some people seem to effortlessly attract abundance, while others struggle despite their best efforts. Think about the last time you spoke about your finances. Were your words filled with certainty and expectation, or were they laced with doubt and limitation? This matters more than you might imagine, because money, in its truest form, is moldable by feeling, obedient to thought, and surprisingly responsive to the vibration of the being that calls it. Throughout history, money served as a sacred extension of conscious exchange, a reflection of the divine balance between giving and receiving. Yet somewhere along the way, humanity forgot this truth. Money transformed from a tool of empowerment into a shadow of fear, a source of control and separation. But this transformation isn't permanent. What you're about to learn will show you how to reclaim the original power of money through the ancient art of conscious decree. You'll discover why certain words act as magnetic forces that draw wealth into your experience, while others create invisible barriers that keep abundance at bay. The secret lies not in what you do with money, but in how you speak about it, how you think about it, and most importantly, how you align your inner vibration with its true nature. Are you ready to unlock the hidden connection between your words and your wealth? Because what lies ahead could change everything you thought you knew about creating abundance. Before we dive deeper into these sacred principles, I want to pause for a moment and acknowledge that you might be experiencing something profound right now. The concepts we've just touched upon, the idea that money is condensed light, that words carry vibrational frequencies capable of shaping your financial reality. These aren't merely intellectual curiosities, they're living truths that can radically transform your relationship with abundance. I've witnessed countless individuals share their own awakening moments in the comments below our videos, stories of how a simple shift in their inner dialogue about money created unexpected financial breakthroughs. If this topic is already resonating with you, I'd love to hear about your own experiences. Have you noticed patterns in how you speak about money and what shows up in your life? Drop a comment below about what touched you the most in this introduction, whether it's the concept of money as energy, the power of words, or perhaps a memory of how your financial language has affected your reality. Your participation here isn't just appreciated, it's essential. It's what helps this channel grow and reach more souls who are ready to break free from limiting financial patterns. Every comment you share, every experience you reveal, creates a ripple effect that touches someone else who desperately needs to hear these truths. When you hit that like button, you're not just showing appreciation, you're helping expand the reach of wisdom that could transform someone's entire financial destiny. And if you find yourself hungry for more of these profound insights about money, consciousness, and manifestation, subscribing to our channel ensures you won't miss the deeper secrets we'll be unveiling. Because what we've shared so far is only the beginning. The techniques and revelations ahead could completely reshape how you create wealth in your life. Now, with that foundation of connection and community established, let's explore the first transformative principle that will begin shifting your financial reality from this moment forward. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic because what I'm about to share with you represents one of the most profound revelations about wealth creation that most people never discover in their entire lifetime. The transformation from scarcity to abundance doesn't happen through the countless courses that promise quick fixes or the endless strategies that focus solely on external action. The real revolution occurs in a much more intimate space within your own consciousness. You see, every single day, millions of people wake up believing that money comes from working harder, from finding better opportunities, or from having the right connections. Yet the most successful individuals throughout history understood something entirely different. Behind the scenes of every genuine financial breakthrough lies a hidden truth that challenges everything conventional wisdom teaches. Abundance doesn't flow from external circumstances to you, it flows from you to external circumstances. Your consciousness acts as the secret architect of your financial reality, designing every experience according to the patterns you hold within your mind. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to stumble upon opportunities everywhere they go, while others can't seem to catch a break despite their best efforts? The difference isn't luck, privilege, or even talent. The difference lies in their internal frequency, their consciousness patterns, their fundamental relationship with abundance itself. Here's where most people get it completely wrong. They believe money needs to be attracted from somewhere outside themselves, like trying to capture lightning in a bottle. But money isn't something foreign that needs to be hunted down and conquered. Money is something you remember, something you reconnect with, something you align with at the deepest levels of your being. When you truly grasp this shift in perspective, your entire approach to creating wealth transforms. Instead of chasing money, you begin emanating the frequency that naturally calls money to you. Instead of struggling against financial limitations, you start recognizing them as outdated programs that can be rewritten through conscious intervention. This process of remembering abundance involves what ancient traditions called the power of decree and the sacred I am presence. But this isn't about repeating positive affirmations mindlessly. This is about accessing a level of consciousness where your very identity aligns with the truth of your unlimited nature. The journey from financial struggle to financial freedom isn't a linear path of accumulation. It's a spiraling ascent of consciousness expansion. Each revelation about your true relationship with money creates ripples that reshape your entire reality. Your mindset becomes the invisible force that either supports or sabotages every financial decision you make. What many fail to realize is that their current financial situation perfectly reflects their current consciousness. This isn't judgment, it's simply the mathematical precision of how consciousness creates reality. Change your consciousness, and your finances must change. It's not a possibility, it's a law of existence. The impact of understanding this truth extends far beyond your bank account. When you begin operating from this elevated awareness, every aspect of your life transforms. Your relationships improve because you're no longer operating from fear of lack. Your health improves because stress about money no longer consumes your vital energy. Your creativity explodes because you're no longer limited by thoughts of not enough. But here's what's truly remarkable about this approach. It works regardless of your current circumstances. Whether you're drowning in debt or already comfortable but seeking more, the principles remain the same. Your starting point doesn't determine your destiny, your consciousness does. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and show you exactly how to begin implementing these consciousness shifts in practical, tangible ways. that will start transforming your financial reality immediately. The moment you grasp that the gold you seek is already within you, waiting for activation, your entire financial journey transforms from a desperate search into a sacred remembering. This isn't just metaphorical language. This is the hidden truth that separates those who struggle for wealth from those who effortlessly manifest it. Behind the scenes of our physical reality, beyond the tangible world of bills and coins, money existed as pure consciousness long before the first civilization ever minted a single piece of currency. It was a primordial frequency, a vibrating pattern of energy that harmonized perfectly with the universal laws governing all creation. Understanding this revelation changes everything about how you approach abundance. Most people have been conditioned to believe that money is scarce, that wealth is limited, that there's only so much to go around. But these beliefs are built on a fundamental misunderstanding of money's true nature. When you realize that money in its purest form is unlimited consciousness, you begin to see through the illusion of scarcity that keeps most people trapped in cycles of financial struggle. The transformation occurs when you stop looking outside yourself for wealth and start recognizing the unlimited treasure that exists within your own consciousness. This isn't about positive thinking or wishful imagination. This is about connecting with a frequency that has always been available to you, but perhaps overlooked or forgotten due to years of programming about lack and limitation. Your inner gold isn't hidden away like some buried treasure that requires elaborate maps to find. It's actively waiting for you to activate it through the decisions you make, the thoughts you choose, and the vibration you emit into the world. The keys to this invisible gold aren't complex formulas or secret techniques. They're the natural result of aligning with your true nature. Consider this profound shift in perspective. Instead of trying to get money, you remember that you are the source from which money flows. Instead of competing with others for limited resources, you recognize that consciousness itself is infinite, and you have unlimited access to this creative force. This mindset revolution doesn't just impact your bank account, it transforms every aspect of how you move through the world. The journey of activation begins with a simple recognition that the treasure you seek has never been separate from you. It's been dormant, waiting for the moment when you would stop seeking outside yourself and turn your attention inward to the source of all creation. This inward turn isn't about becoming selfish or isolated. It's about becoming connected to the infinite wellspring of abundance that flows through all things. When you truly understand this principle, you realize that there are no limitations for those who know these keys. The constraints you've experienced aren't real limitations of the universe. They're simply reflections of limited thinking patterns that can be transcended once you remember your true nature as an unlimited being. The impact of this revelation ripples outward in remarkable ways. Your decisions become more aligned with abundance because you're no longer operating from desperation or fear. Your relationships improve because you're no longer approaching others from a place of lack. Your creativity expands because you're tapping into the same source that created the very concept of wealth itself. This frequency that money represents, this primordial vibration that existed before the physical world, is still accessible to you right now. It hasn't diminished or become less available. If anything, as consciousness evolves and awakens on our planet, this frequency becomes more readily accessible to those who choose to align with it. The secret lies not in complex manifestation techniques or elaborate rituals, but in the simple remembering of what you truly are. An infinite being temporarily experiencing a physical form with unlimited access to the same creative force that brought money into existence in the first place. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific mechanism through which this inner gold begins to manifest in your physical reality. starting with the most powerful tool you use every single day without even realizing its true potential. This powerful tool I'm referring to is something you've been using since the day you were born, yet you've likely never considered its true potential for creating wealth. It's your voice, your words, your thoughts, but more importantly, it's your ability to connect with higher planes of consciousness, where abundance operates by completely different rules than what you see in the physical world. In these elevated dimensions of awareness, the entire concept of scarcity simply doesn't exist. Imagine experiencing a reality where all provision appears instantly, automatically, with perfect precision. There's no waiting, no struggling, no complicated processes. Beings in these higher states don't ask for what they need. They simply emanate their desires and watch them manifest effortlessly. This isn't fantasy. This is the natural state of consciousness that exists beyond our limited physical perceptions. The transformation that occurs when you begin to operate from this elevated perspective is remarkable. Instead of begging the universe for money, you start recognizing that you already exist in these higher planes. You've just forgotten how to access them consciously. Your journey becomes one of remembering rather than acquiring. Behind the scenes of our physical reality, there's a profound truth that most people never discover. Gold in its highest state isn't the metal sitting in banks or worn as jewelry. It's a pulsing golden light, a frequency of divine intelligence that flows through the heart of worlds, through dimensions of pure consciousness, through the very fabric of creation itself. This revelation explains why some people can seemingly manifest wealth from nowhere, while others struggle despite working incredibly hard. Those who tap into this golden light frequency aren't bound by the same limitations as those operating purely from physical world thinking. They've learned to access a level of reality where abundance is the norm, not the exception. The hidden truth is that you're already connected to these higher planes. Your consciousness naturally operates there whenever you stop limiting yourself with fixed ideas about how money works. When you release the deeply ingrained beliefs about scarcity and competition, you begin to experience glimpses of this automatic provision. Your mindset becomes the bridge between these higher dimensions of endless supply and your physical reality of paying bills and managing resources. The impact isn't just financial. This shift affects every decision you make, every relationship you cultivate, every opportunity you recognize or miss. Consider this: when beings in higher planes emanate rather than ask, they're not using willpower or forcing outcomes. They're simply allowing their inner nature to express itself without resistance. This is the profound difference between struggle and flow, between desperation and magnetism. The journey of connecting with this golden light requires letting go of the deeply conditioned patterns that keep you anchored to scarcity thinking. It means recognizing that the same divine intelligence that pulses through the heart of worlds also pulses through your own heart. You're not separate from this source of provision. You are this source, temporarily focused through a physical form. When you truly grasp this concept, your entire approach to wealth undergoes a complete transformation. You stop chasing money and start emanating the frequency that naturally calls abundance to you. You begin making decisions from a place of knowing rather than hoping. You approach opportunities with confidence rather than desperation. This isn't about developing supernatural powers or performing miracles. It's about remembering your natural state of consciousness and allowing it to express itself without the limitations you've unconsciously accepted. The golden light that is wealth in its highest form is already flowing through you. It's simply a matter of removing the obstructions that prevent you from experiencing it fully. The beings who operate from these higher planes aren't special or chosen. They've simply remembered how to align with the frequency of automatic provision that exists everywhere, waiting to be accessed by those who understand these principles. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and show you exactly how your everyday thoughts and words either align you with this golden light frequency or keep you trapped in the illusion of scarcity and struggle. The invisible plane where true wealth originates isn't some mystical dimension far removed from your daily experience. It's as close to you as your next breath, your next thought, your next word. Every single day, you're either consciously accessing this realm of pure abundance or unconsciously blocking yourself from it through the patterns of your inner dialogue. Your focused thoughts act as a bridge to this invisible realm. When you think with clarity and purpose about abundance, you're literally tuning into frequencies where wealth exists in its purest form. But here's the hidden truth that most people miss. It's not just thinking about wanting money that creates transformation. It's thinking from a place of knowing that wealth is your natural state. The journey deepens when you understand that elevated feelings amplify this connection exponentially. Those moments when you feel genuine gratitude, deep peace, or quiet confidence. These emotions are actually vibrational keys that unlock access to the invisible plane, where abundance flows freely. Every feeling you cultivate either draws you closer to this source or pushes you further from it. But perhaps the most powerful element in this trinity is vibrating words. The words you speak, especially when charged with emotion and intention, become living entities that travel into the invisible realm and return carrying the energy of whatever you've declared. This isn't metaphorical. This is the actual mechanism through which thought becomes reality. Among all possible words in any language, there are two that carry extraordinary creative power. I am. These aren't just grammatical building blocks, they're the name of the Creator expressing itself through you. Every time you say, I am, followed by anything, you're invoking the very force that brought the universe into existence. Behind the scenes of every major financial breakthrough, you'll find someone who understood this principle. Whether consciously or unconsciously, they spoke these words with conviction. I am abundant, I am successful, I am wealthy. And the universe responded not because it felt generous, but because it recognized the creative force within them speaking its truth. The impact of truly understanding this revelation is profound. Your everyday decisions suddenly carry much more weight because you realize each choice is backed by the same power that creates worlds. Your mindset shifts from limitation to limitless possibility because you recognize yourself as the living embodiment of creative potential. Most people use I am carelessly, following it with limitations. I am broke, I am struggling, I am unlucky. Without realizing it, they're using the most powerful creative force in existence to reinforce exactly what they don't want. This unconscious misuse explains why so many remain trapped in cycles of financial limitation despite their best efforts to change their circumstances. The transformation begins the moment you become conscious of how you complete the sentence, I am. When you declare, I am the living treasure, you're not making an empty affirmation. You're recognizing and activating a fundamental truth about your nature as a conscious being connected to infinite source. Your words become sacred when you understand their true power. Every declaration following I am creates a vibrational template that reality must follow. This isn't belief or religion. This is the practical mechanics of how consciousness shapes the material world through the medium of language. The journey from financial struggle to abundance often involves nothing more than changing how you use these two simple words. But this change must be authentic, rooted in genuine recognition rather than forced positivity. When you truly feel the truth of I am abundant, that feeling creates a magnetic field that naturally attracts corresponding experiences. The hidden truth is that you've been unconsciously creating your financial reality through these declarations all along. Now you have the opportunity to become conscious about it, to use I am with the reverence and power it deserves. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the three-part formula that turns these powerful words into actual wealth manifestation, starting with the sacred geometry that governs all creation. This sacred geometry reveals itself as a perfect triangle, with each vertex representing a crucial element of the manifestation process. The transformation from desire to reality follows this precise pattern every single time, without exception. Understanding this hidden truth gives you unprecedented power over your financial destiny. The first vertex of this triangle is thought, which acts as the seed of all creation. But not just any thought will do. It must be planted with intention and clarity. When you think about wealth, are your thoughts scattered and conflicted, or are they focused like a laser beam, cutting through uncertainty? Your financial decisions should emerge from thoughts that are as sharp and defined as an architect's blueprint. The second vertex holds the energy of feeling, which breathes life into every seed thought you plant. Behind the scenes of every manifestation, there's always an emotional charge that either accelerates or sabotages the process. This is where most people unconsciously block their own success. They think about wealth correctly, but feel fearful or unworthy, creating an internal contradiction that prevents manifestation. The third vertex reveals itself as form, the actual physical result that appears in your reality. But here's what most manifestation teachings miss. Form always follows the alignment of the first two vertices. When thought and feeling are in perfect harmony, form appears naturally, almost effortlessly. Your journey of wealth creation becomes effortless when you master this sacred triangle. The impact isn't just financial. This geometry governs all creation, from the smallest personal decision to the largest life transformation. Every millionaire, whether conscious of it or not, has aligned these three elements in their favor at crucial moments. The hidden truth is that everything following I am becomes reality precisely because these words activate all three vertices simultaneously. When you declare I am wealthy with clear thought, elevated feeling, and focused intention, you're not hoping for wealth. You're commanding it into existence through the very mechanism that created the universe. Most people sabotage themselves by only engaging one or two vertices. They might think positive thoughts but feel desperate underneath, or they might feel good but have scattered, unfocused thoughts. Success requires all three elements working in perfect harmony, creating an irresistible force that reality must respond to. The sacred geometry becomes even more powerful when you realize that this triangle isn't static. It's alive, pulsing with energy, constantly creating and recreating your experience. Every moment offers a new opportunity to align these three elements more perfectly with your financial goals. Your mindset shifts dramatically when you stop trying to force outcomes and start focusing on perfecting this internal alignment. Decisions flow more naturally because they emerge from a coherent inner state rather than external pressure or desperation. The transformation occurs gradually as you practice maintaining this triangular harmony throughout your day. You begin noticing how your thoughts about money affect your feelings, how your feelings influence your thoughts, and how both combine to shape the forms that appear in your physical reality. This isn't about perfection. It's about conscious practice. Even small improvements in maintaining this alignment create ripple effects that compound over time. The journey from financial limitation to abundance is really just the journey from unconscious misalignment to conscious harmony within this sacred triangle. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and show you exactly how to identify when one of these vertices is out of alignment and the specific techniques to bring them back into perfect harmony for maximum manifestation power. The violet flame represents one of the most powerful, transformative forces available to those seeking true wealth mastery. This isn't just spiritual symbolism. It's an actual energy that operates beyond the physical plane, capable of dissolving the karmic patterns that keep you trapped in cycles of financial limitation. When you truly understand how to work with this flame, you gain access to a level of healing that transcends any surface-level financial techniques. Your journey of wealth creation might be blocked by invisible contracts made in moments of desperation or misguided spiritual dedication. Perhaps in this lifetime or another, you spoke vows of poverty, believing that renouncing material wealth would bring you closer to enlightenment. These decisions, made with pure intentions, now operate as energetic seals that prevent abundance from flowing into your life. The transformation begins when you realize that these karmic patterns aren't permanent sentences. The violet flame operates like a cosmic eraser, dissolving these old agreements and freeing you to create new financial realities. But working with this energy requires more than just knowing about it. You must invoke it with genuine intention and sustained focus. Behind the scenes of every financial breakthrough, there's often an invisible healing that must occur first. The fear of wealth, that hidden terror of what might happen if you actually became financially powerful, silently sabotages even your best efforts. This fear manifests in countless ways: self-sabotage just before success, inability to charge what you're worth, discomfort when receiving money, or unconscious beliefs that wealthy people are somehow corrupt. Your mindset around wealth carries generations of conditioning. Perhaps your family taught you that money is evil, or that spiritual people shouldn't care about material possessions. These inherited beliefs create invisible barriers that no amount of positive thinking alone can overcome. The violet flame, however, can transmute these generational patterns, freeing you from limitations that aren't even originally yours. The hidden truth about fear of wealth runs deeper than most people realize. It's not just about money. It's about fear of your own power, fear of visibility, fear of responsibility that comes with abundance. Many unconsciously reject wealth because they sense that financial empowerment will call them to step into a larger version of themselves, and that prospect feels terrifying. Your journey involves recognizing these fears without judgment, understanding them as protective mechanisms that once served a purpose but now limit your expansion. The impact of addressing these fears goes beyond financial gain. It's about reclaiming your divine inheritance as a powerful creator being. The transformation occurs when you invoke the violet flame with specific intention to release these blocks. You might visualize this flame burning through old vows, dissolving ancient fears, purifying your relationship with money and power. Each time you work with this energy, layers of limitation peel away like old paint, exposing the pristine surface beneath. Your decisions around money become clearer when these karmic patterns are dissolved. You stop unconsciously pushing opportunities away or making choices from fear. You begin operating from a clean slate, free to create wealth without the invisible resistance that has been working against you. The violet flame doesn't just remove blocks, it also installs new patterns aligned with abundance and spiritual wisdom. As old fears dissolve, they're replaced with confidence, clarity, and a healthy relationship with material prosperity that honors both spiritual and practical needs. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific invocations and practices you can use to engage the violet flame for transmuting your personal financial karma, including the exact words that carry the most transformative power. The secret geometry of provision operates like an invisible blueprint that governs how abundance manifests in your reality. This hidden architecture reveals itself to those who understand that the universe doesn't create randomly. Every manifestation, including wealth, follows precise mathematical patterns that most people never discover. Your transformation from financial limitation to abundance depends on aligning with these cosmic designs. Behind the scenes of every wealthy individual's success story, you'll find someone who unconsciously tapped into these geometric patterns, even if they couldn't articulate the science behind their achievements. The journey from struggle to prosperity isn't just about working harder or having better strategies. It's about orienting your entire being with the sacred mathematics of creation itself. Your mindset must shift to recognize that poverty and abundance aren't random experiences, but the result of specific vibrational geometries. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align in particular patterns, they create invisible structures that either attract or repel wealth. These patterns operate with the same precision as natural laws. Water always flows downhill, and abundance always flows to those whose inner geometry matches its frequency. The hidden truth about vows of poverty reveals one of the most invisible barriers to financial success. In moments of spiritual seeking, perhaps centuries ago or in previous lifetimes, many souls made sacred promises to renounce material possessions. These vows, born from pure intentions to achieve spiritual enlightenment, now operate as energetic contracts that block the natural flow of abundance. Your current financial struggles might stem from decisions made when you equated poverty with purity, when you believed that rejecting wealth was necessary for spiritual advancement. The impact of these ancient choices ripples through time, creating patterns that seem to sabotage every attempt at financial success, often in ways that appear completely unrelated to spiritual matters. The transformation begins when you realize these vows weren't mistakes, they served their purpose in that lifetime. But now, in this era of conscious evolution, the path includes embracing both spiritual wisdom and material manifestation. The journey forward requires consciously releasing these outdated agreements and creating new contracts with the universe based on evolved understanding. Your decisions around money carry the weight of these invisible vows until they're properly dissolved. You might find yourself unconsciously rejecting opportunities, feeling guilty about charging fair prices, or experiencing mysterious setbacks just as success approaches. These aren't coincidences. They're the manifestation of ancient promises still operating in your energy field. The sacred geometry of provision functions like a cosmic GPS system, constantly calculating the shortest path between your current reality and your desired abundance. But these calculations can be disrupted by conflicting signals from unresolved vows, creating a kind of spiritual interference that leads you in circles rather than straight to your destination. Recognition becomes the first step in the healing process. As you become aware of these patterns, you begin noticing how they've shaped your relationship with money. Perhaps you'll recognize inherited beliefs that poverty equals virtue, or you might identify moments when you've unconsciously pushed wealth away because deep down, success felt wrong or dangerous. The revelation that money and spirituality aren't enemies but potential allies marks a crucial turning point in your wealth journey. The same source that creates sunsets and symphonies also creates the flow of abundance through human society. To reject money is to reject an aspect of creation itself. Your inner geometry begins shifting as you release these ancient vows with gratitude for their past service, while firmly establishing new patterns aligned with conscious prosperity. This isn't about becoming greedy or materialistic. It's about recognizing that you can serve the world more effectively with resources than without them. The universe responds to this inner realignment with external shifts. Opportunities that were previously invisible suddenly appear. People who can help your financial growth enter your life seemingly by coincidence. Your intuition about money-making ventures becomes clearer and more reliable. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and share the specific invocations you can use to formally release these ancient vows, while simultaneously creating new agreements with the universe that support both spiritual growth and material abundance. The power of decrees represents one of the most underestimated tools in wealth creation. functioning as actual auric keys that unlock previously inaccessible levels of abundance. These aren't just positive affirmations or hopeful statements. They're vibrational commands, charged with emotion, that literally reorder the fabric of reality around you. Your transformation begins the moment you understand that words, when spoken with proper intention and feeling, become living entities that reshape your financial circumstances. Your voice carries frequencies that extend far beyond what the physical ear can detect. Behind the scenes of every decree you speak with conviction, invisible forces mobilize to align circumstances with your spoken word. The hidden truth is that reality is far more malleable than most people believe, responding instantly to properly charged declarations. The journey of learning to decree effectively requires understanding that emotion is the fuel that powers these vibrational commands. A decree spoken mechanically has little impact, but the same words infused with genuine feeling become irresistible forces that the universe must acknowledge and fulfill. Your mindset shifts from hoping things will change to commanding them to change. When you decree, "I am the living expression of unlimited wealth," you're not making a request. You're declaring a truth that reality must conform to. The impact of understanding this difference is profound. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become the conscious architect of your financial experience. The invisible altar represents a sacred space within your consciousness where all wealth can be transformed from mere material possession into something far more powerful. This isn't about religious ritual or complex ceremonies. It's about the recognition that money, when properly consecrated to the supreme good, becomes a channel for divine energy rather than just a means of personal accumulation. Your relationship with money undergoes complete transformation when you understand this consecration process. Instead of pursuing wealth from ego or fear, you begin attracting it as a tool for higher service. The decisions you make about money become guided by wisdom rather than driven by desperation or greed. Behind the scenes of every truly successful person, you'll find someone who unconsciously understood this principle of consecration. They didn't just use money for personal gain, they used it in ways that created value for others, and the universe responded by sending them more to work with. The hidden truth about the invisible altar is that you access it not through external action, but through internal recognition. Every time you handle money with gratitude, every transaction you approach with consciousness, every investment you make with wisdom, you're operating from this sacred space. Your wealth begins multiplying exponentially when you approach it from this elevated perspective. The energy of consecration creates a magnetic field that naturally attracts more resources to be stewarded. This isn't spiritual bypassing, it's practical alchemy that yields tangible results. The journey involves recognizing that money itself isn't evil or corrupting. It's neutral energy that amplifies the intention of whoever wields it. When you consecrate your wealth to the supreme good, you're not limiting your abundance. You're unleashing it in ways that create sustainable, expanding prosperity. Your decrees become far more powerful when they emerge from this consecrated space within you. Instead of demanding money from a place of lack, you decree from a recognition of your divine inheritance. Instead of trying to manipulate outcomes, you align yourself with higher principles that automatically generate favorable results. The transformation occurs gradually as you practice viewing every financial interaction as an opportunity for sacred exchange. Your bills become offerings, your income becomes blessings, your investments become seeds planted in the field of consciousness. This shift in perspective changes everything about how money flows in your life. The impact extends beyond your personal finances. When you truly embody these principles, your relationship with money becomes a model that inspires others. Your success doesn't come at anyone's expense. It creates value that elevates everyone involved. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific practices you can use to establish your own invisible altar and create decrees that carry the maximum transformative power for your financial reality. Establishing this invisible altar within your consciousness begins with a simple yet profound practice that transforms every financial interaction into a sacred exchange. The secret lies in approaching each monetary moment, whether receiving or spending, with the understanding that you're handling condensed divine energy. Your transformation accelerates when you stop seeing money as mere pieces of paper or digital numbers and start recognizing it as crystallized intention that can be directed toward any purpose you choose. Your gratitude becomes the invisible bridge connecting your current reality with infinite abundance. Behind the scenes of every financial miracle, you'll find someone who discovered that conscious gratitude isn't just a nice feeling. It's an active force that literally generates new pathways for wealth to enter your life. The hidden truth is that gratitude operates like a magnetic frequency, drawing similar energies toward you with mathematical precision. Most people wait to feel grateful after they receive money, but the truly wealthy have learned to feel grateful for abundance that hasn't yet manifested. This reversal of the normal gratitude sequence creates a powerful resonance that the universe cannot ignore. Your mindset shifts from scarcity-based hoping to abundance-based knowing when you practice this enhanced form of appreciation. The journey deepens when you realize that every expression of genuine gratitude sends a signal into the quantum field, essentially placing orders for more experiences worthy of appreciation. Your decisions about money become easier because you're operating from this elevated frequency where the next right action becomes obvious rather than agonizing. Service represents the ultimate multiplication formula for invisible riches, though most people miss this connection entirely. When you give of yourself, your time, talents, or treasures, with genuine desire to uplift others, you create energetic investment accounts that compound in ways traditional savings never could. The impact extends far beyond the immediate beneficiary, creating ripple effects that eventually return to you multiplied. Your relationship with money transforms completely when you understand that wealth naturally flows toward those who serve consciously. This isn't about being selfless to the point of martyrdom. It's about recognizing that in a connected universe, everything you give with love inevitably returns enhanced. The hidden truth is that the universe operates on principles of circulation, not accumulation. Behind the scenes of every enduring fortune, you'll discover someone who mastered this principle of conscious service. They understood that true wealth comes not from grasping but from giving, not from hoarding but from circulating energy in ways that benefit all involved. Their success became sustainable because it was built on contribution rather than extraction. The invisible riches multiply through service because you're aligning with the fundamental pattern of creation itself. Just as trees give oxygen and receive carbon dioxide in a perfect cycle, your financial exchanges become part of a larger dance when approached with service consciousness. Your wealth grows because you're working with natural laws rather than against them. Your transformation begins with small acts of conscious service in your daily transactions. When you tip generously not from obligation but from genuine appreciation, when you pay bills with gratitude for the services received, when you invest in projects that align with your values, you're practicing this multiplication principle. The journey involves recognizing every financial interaction as an opportunity to circulate good energy. The power of this approach lies in its simplicity and authenticity. You don't need to wait until you're wealthy to begin serving others. Start where you are with what you have. The universe responds to the quality of your intention rather than the quantity of your resources. Your decisions to serve, even in small ways, create momentum that builds into larger opportunities for impact. Your wealth begins expanding exponentially when you combine gratitude with service, creating a powerful alchemy that transforms both spiritual and material circumstances. This isn't about doing good deeds to manipulate outcomes. It's about aligning with the natural flow of abundance that already exists all around you. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific daily practices that integrate both gratitude and service into your financial life, creating a sustained flow of abundance that grows stronger over time rather than fluctuating with circumstances. The law of karma operates with mathematical precision in the realm of finances, orchestrating every penny that flows into or out of your life, according to invisible calculations that span lifetimes. Your current financial situation isn't random or unfair. It's the exact mathematical result of every thought, feeling, action, and intention you've set in motion, not just in this lifetime, but in the entire continuum of your soul's journey. Understanding this hidden truth empowers you to consciously work with these forces rather than being their unconscious victim. Your transformation begins when you realize that karma isn't punishment but education. Every financial challenge you face carries within it the precise lesson needed to evolve your consciousness around abundance. Behind the scenes of every difficult money situation, there's a karmic pattern completing itself, offering you the opportunity to choose a different response than before and thereby create a different outcome. The journey of financial liberation often involves recognizing patterns that repeat across years or even lifetimes. Perhaps you notice that you always lose money in certain ways, or that abundance arrives only to slip away quickly. These aren't cruel tricks of fate, but karmic opportunities for you to develop new neural pathways. Around wealth consciousness, your decisions create karmic seeds that will sprout into future financial realities. When you handle money with consciousness and integrity, you plant seeds of abundance. When you approach wealth with fear, greed, or dishonesty, you sow the karmic seeds of future lack. The impact of understanding this extends far beyond your bank account. It affects how you approach every choice involving resources. The celestial vault within you represents the true source of all wealth, accessible not through external action, but through intimate connection with your I am presence. This isn't symbolic language, but practical truth. Within your consciousness exists an infinite treasury that can never be depleted, stolen, or lost. Your transformation involves shifting from seeking wealth outside yourself to accessing the inexhaustible supply that flows through your very being. Behind the scenes of every genuine financial breakthrough, you'll find someone who stumbled upon this inner vault, whether they called it intuition, higher guidance, or simply a feeling about the right investment. They accessed something beyond logical analysis, tapping into a source of knowing that exists in a space deeper than thought. Your mindset undergoes radical transformation when you realize that your I am presence is not just some spiritual concept, but the actual CEO of your cosmic corporation. This divine aspect of yourself has perfect awareness of all opportunities, timing, and strategies that align with your highest good. The journey involves learning to consult this inner authority before making financial decisions. The hidden truth about wealth is that those who seem to effortlessly attract money have developed a conscious relationship with their I am presence. They've learned to still their anxious minds and access what feels like an unlimited well of creativity, opportunity, and resources. This connection doesn't require years of meditation. It requires sincere intention and consistent practice. Your connection to this celestial vault deepens through moments of pure presence, free from the constant mental chatter about money problems or desires. In these quiet spaces, wisdom emerges that radically improves your relationship with wealth. Solutions to financial challenges appear not as thoughts, but as knowing that comes from a deeper source. The impact of accessing this inner treasury extends beyond solving immediate financial concerns. You begin operating from a fundamentally different paradigm, where scarcity becomes unimaginable because you've touched the source from which all abundance flows. Your decisions carry the authority of this deeper knowing rather than the anxiety of surface-level fear. Your transformation accelerates when you combine conscious karma creation with regular access to your celestial vault. Each day becomes an opportunity to plant new seeds while drawing from the infinite supply within. You stop being reactive to external circumstances and start being responsive to inner guidance. The revelation that your I Am Presence holds the keys to unlimited wealth changes everything about how you approach financial challenges. Instead of struggling and forcing outcomes, you begin aligning with the natural flow of abundance that exists when you're connected to this infinite source within. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and share the specific methods for regularly accessing your celestial vault, including the daily practices that strengthen your connection to the I Am Presence, and the warning signs that tell you when you've disconnected from this inner treasury. The sustained miracle of abundance requires that you maintain a specific quality of consciousness moment by moment, day by day, year by year. Most people experience financial breakthroughs as temporary peaks, moments of abundance that fade like beautiful sunsets, leaving them wondering why the magic doesn't last. The hidden truth is that miracles aren't isolated events, but the natural expression of elevated consciousness consistently maintained. Your journey from temporary wealth flashes to permanent abundance involves understanding that consciousness isn't something you achieve once and then coast on forever. It's a living practice, a constant cultivation, a daily recommitment to seeing wealth not as something separate from you, but as the natural expression of your elevated inner state. Behind the scenes of every person with sustained wealth, you'll find someone who's developed the discipline to maintain their frequency regardless of external circumstances. The transformation begins when you stop treating abundance like a visitor that might leave at any moment and start treating it like the natural atmosphere of your existence. Your mindset shifts from holding on to wealth out of fear to allowing wealth to flow through you with trust. This requires a fundamental rewiring of how you relate to both having and not having money. Your decisions become anchored in this sustained consciousness rather than reactive to temporary conditions. When challenges arise, and they will, you respond from the foundation of knowing rather than the confusion of forgetting. The impact extends beyond your bank account. This consistent elevation of consciousness creates a stable platform from which all areas of your life can flourish. The master's approach to wealth involves what ancient traditions called true alchemy, not the crude pursuit of turning lead into gold, but the refined art of transforming money into light, resources into service, personal abundance into collective elevation. This represents the highest purpose for which wealth exists, not merely to accumulate, but to become a conduit for lifting all of humanity. Your relationship with money reaches its most mature expression when you begin seeing yourself as a steward rather than an owner, a channel rather than a container. The hidden truth is that wealth naturally flows to those who understand its sacred purpose, to create beauty, ease suffering, and expand consciousness on earth. Behind the scenes of every great fortune used for humanity's benefit, you'll find someone who discovered this alchemical secret. The journey involves recognizing that your personal abundance and your service to others aren't separate projects, but one unified mission. When you use wealth consciously to uplift, inspire, and empower others, the universe responds by expanding your capacity to serve even more. This creates an upward spiral where your resources multiply precisely because you're using them wisely. Your transformation deepens when you realize that turning money into light doesn't mean giving everything away or living in poverty. It means infusing your wealth with conscious intention, using it as a force for positive change while maintaining healthy boundaries and personal sustainability. The impact of this approach creates ripple effects that extend far beyond your immediate circle. The sustained miracle emerges naturally when you combine maintained consciousness with purposeful action. You become a living bridge between the spiritual principles of abundance and their practical application in the world. Your decisions reflect both inner wisdom and earthly effectiveness, creating success that feels aligned rather than forced. Your wealth becomes a living prayer, a tangible expression of divine energy flowing through human systems. Every investment becomes a vote for the kind of world you want to create. Every transaction becomes an opportunity to circulate positive energy. Every act of financial generosity becomes a seed that grows into greater capacity for service. The alchemy occurs when you stop seeing money as an end goal and start seeing it as a tool for transformation, your own and others. This shift in purpose naturally attracts more resources because you're working in harmony with life's tendency to support those who serve life itself. The universe trusts you with more because you've proven your commitment to using wealth as a force for good. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific practices that help you maintain this elevated consciousness during both prosperous and challenging times, along with the precise methods for transforming your wealth into maximum positive impact. The revelation that scarcity is nothing more than a mental distortion, a kind of perceptual fog that clouds your vision of the eternal reservoir of golden substance, fundamentally changes how you approach wealth creation. This isn't just positive thinking or denial of real financial challenges. It's recognizing that what you perceive as scarcity is actually a limited way of seeing abundance that already exists all around you. Your transformation begins when you understand that the eternal reservoir of golden substance isn't some mystical concept floating in space, but the actual energetic foundation from which all wealth emerges. Behind the scenes of every manifestation of money, there's this infinite source constantly available, like an underground spring that flows regardless of whether you've dug your well deep enough to access it. The journey involves clearing the mental distortions that prevent you from seeing what's always been there. These distortions come in many forms: inherited beliefs about scarcity, traumatic memories around money, cultural programming about competition for limited resources. Each distortion acts like a filter that literally changes what you're able to perceive and therefore receive. Your mindset undergoes radical transformation when you realize that the electromagnetic field you generate through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs determines the quality and quantity of supply that flows to you. The universe doesn't care how hard you work or how much you struggle. It responds specifically to the vibration you're broadcasting. The hidden truth about effort versus vibration reveals why some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth, while others work exhaustively with minimal results. Those who struggle are often generating electromagnetic fields of lack, worry, and frustration, vibrations that actually repel the very abundance they're trying so hard to create. Meanwhile, those who attract wealth naturally emit fields of appreciation, confidence, and joy. Your decisions begin flowing from this understanding rather than from programming about needing to work harder or sacrifice more. The impact extends beyond wealth creation. This shift affects how you approach every area of life because you begin operating from the principle of vibration over action. Behind the scenes of every quantum leap in finances, you'll find someone who shifted their electromagnetic field. They didn't necessarily change their external actions dramatically. They changed their internal frequency, and reality responded accordingly. This is why sudden windfalls, unexpected opportunities, and financial miracles can appear seemingly out of nowhere. Your electromagnetic field isn't something abstract. It's measurable, changeable, and continuously broadcasting into the quantum field. Every thought charged with emotion sends out vibrations that attract matching experiences. When you truly understand this, you stop trying to manipulate outcomes through force and start focusing on calibrating your internal frequency. The transformation occurs gradually as you practice maintaining higher vibrations even when external circumstances haven't yet shifted. You learn to generate feelings of abundance before seeing evidence of abundance, to radiate confidence before achieving success, to emit gratitude before receiving gifts. This practice rewires your entire nervous system to become a magnet for wealth. Your relationship with effort changes completely once you grasp this principle. Physical action becomes inspired rather than desperate, strategic rather than frantic. You begin taking aligned actions that feel good and produce better results than struggling against the current ever could. The reservoir of golden substance becomes accessible when your electromagnetic field is clear and elevated. It's not about earning access through suffering or proving yourself through hardship. It's about removing the mental distortions that block your natural connection to this infinite source. Your journey deepens when you realize that maintaining this elevated vibration isn't just a personal practice, but a contribution to collective consciousness. Every time you operate from abundance, rather than scarcity, you help dissolve the collective belief in limitation that keeps humanity trapped in unnecessary suffering. The impact of embracing this truth extends far beyond personal wealth. As you embody the principle of vibration over effort, you become a demonstration of possibility for others who are still struggling under the weight of scarcity programming. Your success becomes a beacon that reminds others of what's truly possible. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific techniques for generating and maintaining the electromagnetic field that naturally attracts wealth, including the warning signs that tell you when your vibration has dropped and how to quickly realign with the frequency of abundance. The original nature of money reveals itself as harmonious energy flow, a sacred circulation of manifested love between beings that had nothing to do with competition, scarcity, or accumulation. In its purest form, before human consciousness distorted its essence, money was simply the natural expression of appreciation and exchange, flowing like water between people who recognized each other's value and contributions. Your transformation begins when you reconnect with this original template of money as love in motion. Behind the scenes of every financial transaction that leaves you feeling energized rather than depleted, you're unconsciously tapping into this primordial understanding. The hidden truth is that money wants to flow, wants to create connection, wants to express appreciation, but our distorted relationship with it creates resistance that turns natural flow into struggle. The journey involves remembering that when you pay someone with genuine gratitude, when you receive payment knowing you've truly served, when you exchange resources feeling the joy of mutual benefit, you're participating in money's original sacred purpose. Your mindset shifts from viewing transactions as necessary evils to seeing them as opportunities to circulate love in practical form. Your decisions around money begin reflecting this deeper understanding. Instead of hoarding from fear or spending from emptiness, you start using money as a love language, a way to bless others while blessing yourself. The impact extends beyond your personal finances. You become part of returning money to its rightful role as an expression of manifested love in human society. The word stands as the primordial creative force, existing before all. Manifestation as the first act of bringing the unformed into form. When you speak with conscious awareness, especially in the form of decrees, you're utilizing the same mechanism through which the universe originally created itself. Every word you speak is literally reorganizing the molecular structure of reality around you. Your power increases exponentially when you realize that words aren't just communication tools, but actual technology for reshaping matter. Behind the scenes of every major transformation in your life, you'll find specific words or statements that preceded the change. The words you consistently speak about money, whether conscious or unconscious, are actively creating your financial reality moment by moment. The journey of mastering words requires understanding that decrees work differently than prayers or requests. A decree is a statement of what already is, spoken from the authority of your higher self. When you decree, "I am abundant," you're not asking to become abundant. You're recognizing and activating abundance that already exists within you. Your transformation accelerates when you realize every word is a commitment to reality. The universe takes your words seriously, especially those charged with emotion and conviction. This is why complaining about money actually creates more to complain about, while blessing your resources creates more to bless. The hidden truth about words and manifestation is that language isn't just describing reality, it's literally constructing reality. Your electromagnetic field reorganizes around the patterns created by your words, especially your most repeated statements. Behind the scenes, every decree you speak sets invisible forces in motion to make that decree true in your experience. Your relationship with money transforms when you become impeccable with your word regarding wealth. Instead of casually saying, "I can't afford it," you might say, "I'm choosing not to invest in that right now." This seemingly small shift carries enormous power because you're moving from victim language to sovereign language. The impact of conscious word use extends far beyond personal finance. When you speak about money with consciousness and intention, you're helping to heal the collective wounds around wealth in human consciousness. Your words become drops in the ocean of changing how our species relates to resources and abundance. Your decisions become more powerful when backed by conscious decrees. Before making financial choices, you can declare your intention, set the energetic foundation, and call forth the highest possible outcome. This isn't superstition. It's applying the fundamental creative principle through which all things come into being. The journey involves recognizing that you're constantly decreeing through your words, whether consciously or not. Every time you speak about money, you're issuing a vibrational command that reality must respond to. The transformation comes from taking responsibility for this creative power and using it deliberately. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific decrees that carry the most transformative power for wealth creation, along with the precise methods for charging your words with the emotional energy that makes them irresistible commands to the universe. The three-part process of conscious visualization becomes the precise mechanism through which your financial desires transform from invisible potential into tangible reality. This isn't random hope or wishful thinking. It's a systematic activation of the sacred triangle that governs all manifestation. Your transformation begins when you understand that thinking precisely means seeing your desired outcome with laser-sharp clarity, down to specific details that make the vision feel real rather than vague. Your journey deepens when you move beyond surface-level visualization into what I call precise thinking, where you construct mental images with the same attention to detail an architect brings to blueprints. Behind the scenes of every major financial breakthrough, you'll find someone who could see their success so clearly that it became inevitable rather than hopeful. The hidden truth about feeling with certainty is that emotion serves as the magnetic force that pulls your precisely formed thoughts into physical manifestation. Your mindset must shift from hoping things will work out to knowing they already are working out in the invisible realm before materializing in the physical. The impact extends beyond the specific visualization. You're training yourself to feel emotions of having what you desire before you actually have it. Your electromagnetic field responds instantly to this combination of precise thought and certain feeling, creating a vibrational template that reality must conform to. The journey involves learning to maintain these elevated states even when external circumstances haven't yet shifted to match your inner vision. Economic karma represents the accumulated energy patterns from every financial thought, emotion, and action you've ever taken across all lifetimes. These patterns operate like invisible programs, running in the background of your consciousness, often sabotaging your best efforts to create abundance. Your transformation accelerates when you realize these patterns aren't permanent fixtures, but programmable energy that can be completely rewritten. The violet flame emerges as the most potent tool for transmuting economic karma, functioning like a spiritual delete key that clears old financial programming while simultaneously installing new patterns aligned with prosperity. Behind the scenes of every sudden financial transformation, you'll find someone who consciously or unconsciously access this transmuting fire to clear the karmic debris blocking their abundance. Your decisions become infinitely more powerful when you combine karmic clearing with conscious visualization. The impact creates a clean slate from which your newly formed visions can manifest without interference from past patterns of limitation. The journey of working with the violet flame requires understanding that healing economic karma isn't about erasing the past, but transforming its energy into wisdom and strength. Your old financial wounds become sources of compassion that enhance your ability to help others heal their relationships with money. Your transformation deepens when you realize that transmuting economic karma doesn't just benefit you personally. It contributes to healing the collective wounds around money that affect all of humanity. Every pattern you heal in yourself helps dissolve the same pattern in the collective consciousness. Behind the scenes of sustained wealth creation, you'll find people who regularly practice both karmic clearing and conscious visualization, creating a powerful synergy between releasing the old and activating the new. This dual approach addresses both the invisible blocks and the creative potentials that determine your financial reality. Your electromagnetic field becomes exponentially more coherent when old karmic static is cleared and new visions are activated. The precision of your thoughts increases, the certainty of your feelings deepens, and the manifestation of form accelerates because there's no internal contradiction pulling in opposite directions. The hidden truth about this process is that you don't need to consciously remember past life financial traumas to heal them. The violet flame works on levels beyond your conscious awareness, seeking out and dissolving any energy patterns that limit your current financial potential. Your journey involves developing the ability to invoke the violet flame at will, especially before important financial decisions or visualizations. This creates an energetic, clean room where your intentions can form without contamination from old limiting beliefs or karmic debris. The impact of combining these practices, precise visualization and karmic transmutation, creates what I call the prosperity acceleration effect, where your financial reality begins shifting faster than traditional cause and effect would predict possible. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific step-by-step process for invoking the violet flame to clear financial karma while simultaneously engaging in precision visualization that creates irresistible momentum toward your monetary goals. The moment your thoughts, emotions, and words achieve perfect coherence, something extraordinary happens in the quantum field around you. They spontaneously organize into geometric patterns that function as living mandalas for abundance. These aren't just poetic metaphors, they're actual energy structures that your consciousness creates when all aspects of your being align toward a single outcome. Your transformation accelerates dramatically when you understand that these geometric patterns serve as dimensional doorways through which wealth flows from the invisible into the visible. Behind the scenes of every financial miracle, you'll find someone who unknowingly created these coherent patterns by achieving total alignment between what they thought, felt, and spoke. The hidden truth is that the universe responds not to desperation or force, but to this mathematical precision of internal harmony. Your journey involves learning to consciously create this coherence rather than stumbling upon it accidentally. When you think, "I am abundant," feel the joy of abundance and speak words that confirm abundance. You're weaving an energetic mandala that becomes irresistible to the forces of manifestation. The impact extends beyond your personal wealth. You become a generator of coherent energy that influences everything around you. The geometric patterns you create through coherence function like spiritual architecture, building invisible structures that can hold and channel increasing amounts of financial energy. Your mindset shifts from hoping for random luck to deliberately constructing the energetic foundations for sustained prosperity. Inner freedom reveals itself as the ultimate paradox. The less attached you are to needing wealth, the more naturally it flows to you. This doesn't mean being indifferent to money or success. It means reaching a state where your happiness and sense of self-worth aren't dependent on external circumstances. Your transformation begins when you realize that true freedom comes from non-attachment while still maintaining openness to receive abundance. The journey toward inner freedom requires distinguishing between detachment and denial. You don't pretend money doesn't matter or that material world is illusion. You develop a healthy relationship where you can engage fully with wealth without being enslaved by it. Behind the scenes of every person who maintains wealth without losing their spiritual center, you'll find someone who has mastered this delicate balance. Your relationship with money undergoes profound transformation when you realize that attachment to outcomes often blocks the very outcomes you're attached to. The hidden truth is that the universe responds more readily to requests made from fullness rather than need, from joy rather than desperation. Your decisions become effortless when you operate from inner freedom because you're no longer making choices from fear of lack or compulsive need for more. The impact creates a natural magnetism where opportunities are drawn to you because you radiate contentment rather than desperation. The paradoxical nature of inner freedom means that the more genuinely okay you are without certain outcomes, the more likely those outcomes become. This isn't a manipulation technique, but a genuine spiritual law. Abundance flows more easily through a consciousness that isn't grasping for it. Your electromagnetic field becomes incredibly attractive when you combine coherent patterns with inner freedom. You emit a signal that says, "I create abundance naturally," rather than "I need wealth desperately," and the universe responds accordingly. The transformation deepens when you realize that outer wealth without inner freedom is actually poverty in disguise, while inner freedom with modest resources can feel incredibly abundant. Your journey involves cultivating the inner state that makes you wealthy regardless of your bank balance, which paradoxically tends to increase your bank balance. Behind the scenes of sustainable wealth, you'll find people who learn to hold their financial goals lightly, maintaining clear intention while remaining unattached to specific timing or methods. This creates space for the universe to deliver abundance in ways that exceed their limited imagination. Your mindset evolves to appreciate the freedom that comes from not being psychologically dependent on wealth while still actively engaging in its creation. The impact extends beyond your personal experience. You become a demonstration of how to be prosperous without being possessed by prosperity. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the advanced practices that help you simultaneously create perfect coherence and maintain inner freedom, including the secret of holding strong intentions while releasing attachment to outcomes. The field of pure consciousness responds instantaneously to decrees that emerge from awakened awareness, transforming your words from mere sounds into vibrational commands that reality cannot ignore. When you speak from this elevated state, each syllable carries the authority of divine truth, creating ripples through dimensions that reorganize matter at the quantum level to match your spoken word. Your transformation begins with understanding that awakened consciousness isn't some mystical achievement reserved for monks in monasteries. It's simply the state, where your ego steps aside and allows your higher self to speak. Behind the scenes of every financial breakthrough that seems to happen overnight, you'll find someone who accessed this pure state and issued a decree that cut through years of struggle in a single moment. The journey involves learning to recognize the difference between words spoken from personality and words spoken from presence. Your mindset shifts dramatically when you realize that the same phrase, "I am abundant," carries vastly different creative power depending on whether it emerges from desperate hoping or from the quiet certainty of awakened knowing. Your electromagnetic field harmonizes completely when you speak from this pure state, creating a coherence that makes your decrees irresistible to the universal forces governing manifestation. The hidden truth is that reality doesn't respond to the volume of your voice or the repetition of your words, but to the depth of consciousness from which they emerge. The power of pure decrees lies in their ability to bypass the normal cause and effect sequences that usually govern change. When spoken from awakened consciousness, these words act like master keys that open locks you didn't even know existed, dissolving barriers that might have taken years to overcome through conventional effort. Your relationship with money transforms when you understand that every financial exchange can become a sacred act through the simple power of consecration. This isn't about performing elaborate rituals or following religious protocols. It's about bringing consciousness to each monetary interaction and recognizing the divine energy flowing through what might otherwise seem mundane transactions. Behind the scenes of the most successful and fulfilled wealthy individuals, you'll discover people who unconsciously treat money as sacred. They approach deals with reverence, handle wealth with gratitude, and conduct business with integrity that goes beyond mere legal requirements. Your decisions around money begin flowing from this sacred perspective, where each choice becomes an opportunity to honor the divine circulation of energy. The impact extends far beyond your personal finances. You begin participating in the healing and elevation of humanity's entire relationship with resources and exchange. The journey of consecrating financial exchanges starts with small acts of consciousness. Blessing the money before you spend it, feeling gratitude as you receive payment, holding an intention of highest good for all parties involved in each transaction. Your transformation accelerates as these practices become natural rather than forced. Your electromagnetic field radiates a quality that attracts opportunities aligned with your highest values when you approach money as sacred energy. People can feel the integrity and consciousness you bring to financial matters, creating trust that opens doors to collaborations and ventures that would otherwise remain closed. The hidden truth about sacred exchange is that when you honor money as divine energy, temporarily manifested in physical form, it responds by flowing more abundantly and harmoniously in your life. Each consecrated transaction becomes a prayer in action, a blessing that returns to you multiplied. Your mindset evolves to see every bill you pay as an offering, every income you receive as grace, every investment you make as a seed planted in conscious collaboration with the universe. This perspective transforms the energy around your finances from struggle to flow, from resistance to gratitude. The impact of combining pure decrees with sacred exchange creates a powerful synergy where your words and actions work together to elevate your entire financial reality. Behind the scenes, you're rewriting the energetic contracts that govern how money operates in your life. Your transformation deepens when you realize that consecrating financial exchanges isn't about becoming overly serious or religious about money. It's about infusing ordinary transactions with extraordinary consciousness. The journey involves finding the sacred within the practical, the divine within the economic. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific methods for accessing the awakened consciousness from which pure decrees emerge, along with practical techniques for consecrating every type of financial transaction you encounter in your daily life. The revolutionary insight that gratitude precedes manifestation rather than following it represents one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your relationship with wealth. Most people wait to feel grateful after receiving money, but the most successful approach this backwards. They cultivate thankfulness for abundance that hasn't yet appeared in their physical reality. Your transformation begins when you understand that gratitude isn't a response to receiving, but the very cause of receiving. Behind the scenes of every quantum leap in financial circumstances, you'll find someone who learned to feel genuinely grateful for money that was still invisible. This isn't about faking happiness or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It's about accessing a deeper truth where you can feel appreciation for the abundance that exists in potential form, waiting to condense into physical manifestation. Your journey involves rewiring your nervous system to generate authentic gratitude before evidence appears. The hidden truth is that when you thank the universe for wealth you can't yet see, you're sending a signal that says, "I know it's already done," which creates an irresistible pull for that wealth to materialize. Your mindset shifts from conditional appreciation to unconditional thankfulness. The impact extends beyond your personal finances. This practice of grateful expectancy creates a magnetic field that influences every area of your life. Your decisions flow from a place of abundance consciousness rather than lack consciousness, fundamentally changing the energy behind every choice you make. Service emerges as the secret multiplier that aligns your personal wealth creation with the universe's natural flow toward expansion and growth. When you give consciously, not from obligation or guilt, but from genuine desire to contribute, you activate a fundamental law of return that operates with mathematical precision across all dimensions of existence. Your transformation accelerates when you realize that service isn't about sacrificing your own prosperity for others' benefit, but about creating a circulation of energy that enriches everyone involved. Behind the scenes of every sustainable fortune, you'll discover people who became wealthy not despite their generosity, but because of it. The journey of conscious service involves understanding that the universe operates on principles of circulation rather than accumulation. Your electromagnetic field becomes increasingly attractive when you approach wealth from a giving consciousness rather than a getting consciousness. The impact creates a feedback loop where the more you serve, the more resources you receive to serve even more. Your relationship with money matures when you see wealth not as something to hoard for security, but as a tool for magnifying your ability to contribute. The hidden truth is that money is attracted to consciousness that will use it constructively, which is why those who serve consistently tend to receive increasing resources. Your decisions around service need not be grandiose or dramatic. Small acts of conscious giving create ripples that can transform your entire financial reality. The journey involves finding ways to serve that align with your natural gifts and passions, creating a joyful circulation rather than dutiful obligation. Behind the scenes of the law of return, every act of genuine service creates an energetic imprint that must return multiplied. This isn't karma you can manipulate. It's a universal principle that responds to authentic intention and heartfelt action. Your transformation deepens when you combine heartfelt gratitude with conscious service, creating a powerful synergy that accelerates wealth manifestation. The impact extends beyond personal gain. You become part of the solution to humanity's financial challenges by modeling a different way of relating to money and resources. Your mindset evolves to see abundance not as a personal achievement, but as a responsibility to serve life more fully. The journey involves expanding your capacity to receive precisely because you're expanding your capacity to give, creating an upward spiral that benefits everything you touch. The hidden truth about service and gratitude working together is that they create what I call the prosperity feedback loop. The more grateful you become, the more you want to serve. The more you serve, the more you have to be grateful for. And this cycle naturally generates increasing abundance. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the daily practices that combine gratitude and service into a unified approach to wealth creation, including the specific timing and methods that maximize the return on your energetic investments. The profound revelation that consciousness creates money rather than money creating consciousness represents perhaps the most liberating truth you can embody in your financial journey. Most people spend their entire lives believing that having money will change their consciousness, that once they're wealthy, they'll feel secure, confident, or free. But this approach has it completely backwards, which is why so many who acquire wealth discover it doesn't bring the transformation they sought. Your journey toward true financial empowerment begins with the recognition that your consciousness, the quality of your awareness, the depth of your presence, the elevation of your thoughts and feelings is what generates wealth in the first place. Behind the scenes of every authentic financial success story, you'll find someone who shifted their consciousness first and watched their external circumstances follow suit. The transformation occurs when you stop waiting for money to give you permission to feel abundant, secure, or powerful. Instead, you begin cultivating these states of consciousness right now, with whatever resources you currently have. Your mindset shifts from "I need money to feel good" to "I feel good, and that generates money." This reversal might seem subtle, but its implications are revolutionary. Your electromagnetic field responds immediately to this shift in understanding. When you operate from the knowing that consciousness shapes reality rather than reality shaping consciousness, you begin making decisions from an entirely different place. The impact extends far beyond financial matters. You become the conscious creator of all your experiences, rather than the victim of circumstances. Behind the scenes of this transformation, your entire relationship with time and effort changes. You stop believing that years of struggle are required to change your financial situation. Instead, you focus on changing your consciousness, knowing that external changes must follow as naturally as shadow follows form. The sustained miracle of continuous abundance requires daily practice rather than occasional bursts of inspiration. Most people approach wealth creation like they approach exercise, with intense but inconsistent effort that yields temporary results. Your journey toward lasting prosperity demands the same commitment as any worthwhile pursuit: consistent, daily attention to the inner states that generate abundance. Your transformation deepens when you realize that maintaining abundance isn't about perfect performance, but about regular realignment. Like tuning a musical instrument, you need frequent adjustments to keep your consciousness harmonized with the frequency of prosperity. The hidden truth is that even masters of wealth creation must continually choose abundance consciousness over scarcity patterns that try to reassert themselves. Behind the scenes of sustained wealth, you'll discover people who have developed non-negotiable daily practices that keep them aligned with prosperity consciousness. These aren't necessarily lengthy or complicated rituals. They might be as simple as a morning gratitude practice, an evening review of abundance, or moments throughout the day when they consciously choose elevated thoughts about money. Your mindset evolves to see daily practice not as discipline, but as self-care, not as obligation, but as opportunity. Each day becomes a chance to strengthen your prosperity consciousness, to deepen your alignment with abundance, to refine your ability to maintain elevated states regardless of external circumstances. The impact of consistent practice creates what I call the momentum effect. Each day you maintain abundance consciousness makes the next day easier. Each choice to think and feel from prosperity rather than scarcity builds momentum that eventually makes abundance feel more natural than lack. Your electromagnetic field becomes increasingly stable in its attraction of wealth. Your journey involves discovering which daily practices resonate most deeply with you. Perhaps it's visualizing your ideal financial situation each morning, or decreeing abundance, affirmations with feeling, or writing in a gratitude journal about money already received and money flowing toward you. The specific practices matter less than your consistency in doing them. Behind the scenes of the sustained miracle, you're literally rewiring your nervous system to default to abundance rather than scarcity. Each day you choose prosperity consciousness over lack consciousness, you're creating new neural pathways that make wealth attraction increasingly automatic. Your transformation accelerates when you understand that daily practice isn't about forcing change, but about creating conditions where change can occur naturally. You're tending the garden of your consciousness, creating fertile ground where seeds of abundance can germinate and flourish. The hidden truth about sustained miracles is that they require both active engagement and patient allowing. You must consistently choose thoughts, feelings, and actions aligned with abundance while also allowing space for the universe to deliver wealth in its own timing and manner. Your relationship with practice deepens when you recognize it not as something you have to do, but as something you get to do. Each moment of conscious alignment with abundance is a gift you give to yourself and the world. The impact creates ever-expanding circles of prosperity that touch everyone around you. Your decisions throughout each day become opportunities to practice prosperity consciousness. How you think about bills, how you respond to financial challenges, how you celebrate financial victories. Each moment offers a choice between abundance and scarcity mindset. The journey of daily practice involves learning to catch yourself when you slip into old patterns of lack and gently redirecting your consciousness toward abundance. This isn't about perfection, but about awareness and course correction. Behind the scenes, even these moments of recognition and realignment are contributing to your overall transformation. Your mindset gradually shifts to see obstacles not as evidence that you're doing something wrong, but as opportunities to strengthen your abundance consciousness. Each challenge becomes a chance to prove to yourself that your prosperity depends on your inner state rather than outer circumstances. The sustained miracle emerges naturally when daily practice becomes as automatic as breathing. You no longer have to remember to think abundantly. It becomes your default state. Your electromagnetic field stabilizes at a frequency that naturally attracts wealth, and maintaining that frequency becomes effortless rather than effortful. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and reveal the specific morning and evening practices that most effectively maintain prosperity consciousness throughout your day, including the warning signs that indicate when your frequency is dropping and the quick reset techniques that restore your alignment with abundance. The Alchemist's legacy reveals the ultimate transformation that wealth can undergo when handled by a truly awakened consciousness. The ability to transmute money from mere physical currency into spiritual light that illuminates and elevates all it touches. This isn't metaphorical language, but describes an actual energetic process where financial resources become vehicles for consciousness expansion, healing, and collective evolution. Your journey toward this level of mastery begins with recognizing that money, in its purest form, is crystallized potential, concentrated energy waiting to be directed by conscious intention. Behind the scenes of history's most transformative wealth applications, you'll find individuals who understood that their role wasn't to accumulate riches for personal glory, but to serve as conduits through which abundance could flow to benefit humanity. The transformation from money accumulator to light transmitter requires a fundamental shift in identity. You must evolve from seeing yourself as someone who wants wealth to someone through whom wealth flows naturally. Your mindset expands beyond personal financial goals to encompass how your prosperity can serve the greater good without sacrificing your own well-being. Your electromagnetic field undergoes complete recalibration when you embrace this higher purpose for wealth. The energy you emit shifts from scarcity-based grasping to abundance-based giving, creating a magnetic pull that attracts resources far beyond what personal effort alone could generate. The impact extends through every aspect of your life as you align with forces much greater than your individual desires. The hidden truth about transforming money into light is that this process actually accelerates your personal wealth creation rather than limiting it. When the universe perceives you as someone who uses resources wisely for collective benefit, it responds by entrusting you with increasingly larger amounts to steward. Your decisions reflect this higher calling, naturally guiding you toward investments and ventures that serve both personal and planetary prosperity. Behind the scenes of this transformation, you develop what ancient texts called the philosopher's stone. Not a physical object, but a consciousness that can transmute any material substance into spiritual gold. Your relationship with money becomes a sacred practice where every transaction, investment, and gift becomes an act of conscious creation. The journey involves recognizing that true alchemy isn't about turning lead into gold, but about turning gold into light, taking material wealth and infusing it with such consciousness that it creates transformation wherever it goes. Your electromagnetic field begins resonating with frequencies of service, compassion, and wisdom that naturally attract people and opportunities aligned with these values. Your transformation deepens as you realize that becoming an alchemist of wealth doesn't require you to give away everything you own or live in poverty. Instead, it means using your resources, whatever their size, with conscious intention to create positive change. The impact multiplies exponentially because you're operating from a field of love rather than fear, abundance rather than scarcity. The revelations keep unfolding as you practice this approach. Behind the scenes, you discover that money touched by conscious intention carries an energetic imprint that influences everyone who encounters it. When you pay bills with gratitude, invest with wisdom, or give with joy, that energy ripples outward in ways you may never consciously track, but that create profound transformations. Your mindset evolves to see every financial decision as an opportunity to be an alchemist. Whether you're choosing where to bank, what to invest in, or how to structure your business, you consider not just the financial returns, but the consciousness frequencies you're supporting. These decisions create a life that reflects your values while also generating increasing abundance. The journey of the alchemist requires patience and trust. You must believe that operating from this higher consciousness will ultimately bring greater prosperity than operating from pure self-interest. Behind the scenes of this faith, you begin noticing synchronicities, opportunities, and resources appearing in ways that logic can't explain, but spirit clearly orchestrates. Your transformation accelerates when you realize that you don't need to wait until you're wealthy to begin practicing alchemy. Every dollar you touch with consciousness, every financial choice you make with integrity, every act of generosity you perform with love, these are all alchemical practices that transmute ordinary currency into extraordinary energy. The impact of embodying the alchemist's legacy extends far beyond your individual life. You become part of a growing movement of conscious wealth creators who are literally changing the DNA of money on this planet. Your electromagnetic field contributes to a collective elevation that makes abundance more accessible for everyone. Behind the scenes of this collective transformation, you're participating in the healing of humanity's wounded relationship with money. Each time you use wealth for conscious purposes, you're adding your energy to the morphic field that makes it easier for others to do the same. Your journey becomes part of a larger story of spiritual evolution, expressing through financial revolution. Your decisions begin flowing from this expanded awareness. You consider the energetic impact of your investments, the consciousness level of the businesses you support, and the spiritual return on your financial choices. This doesn't mean becoming impractical. It means becoming more discerning about where and how you engage with the monetary system. The hidden truth about the alchemist's path is that it requires neither special powers nor lengthy training. It simply demands the willingness to see money as energy and to use that energy consciously. Your mindset needs only to accept that wealth can be sacred, that business can be spiritual, and that material success can serve spiritual evolution. Your transformation culminates when you realize that you've become what the world needs most. A bridge between spiritual wisdom and practical abundance, a demonstration that it's possible to be both wealthy and conscious, successful and compassionate. The impact creates ripples that inspire others to pursue their own alchemical journey with money. As we reach the end of this journey together, I hope you felt the profound truth that money and consciousness are not enemies, but partners in a sacred dance of creation. If these insights have resonated with your soul, if you've felt that inner recognition that says, "This is what I've been searching for," then you're part of a growing community of conscious wealth creators who are transforming how abundance flows on this planet. I'd love to welcome you more deeply into this conversation by having you subscribe to our channel. Each video we create builds upon these foundational truths, offering specific practices and advanced techniques that can accelerate your financial transformation in ways that honor both spirit and matter. Your subscription tells me that you're ready to explore the deeper mysteries of wealth consciousness, and I'm excited to share that journey with you. If you've made it all the way here, if you've absorbed these principles about turning money into light and becoming an alchemist of abundance, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to transform wealth into light." When I see those words, I'll know you've truly received the essence of what we've explored together. Your comment creates a ripple in our community, inspiring others to embrace their own alchemical journey. The energy we've shared through these words deserves to expand, so go ahead and touch that like button. It's not just a technical gesture. It's an energetic agreement that you've felt the transformation beginning within you as we've walked this path together. Before you go, there's a video right here that dives even deeper into the specific daily practices that maintain this abundance consciousness we've discussed. Click and continue with me over there, because the journey into conscious wealth creation has only just begun. Your highest financial destiny is calling, and I'm here to help you answer that call.